Welcome to City Week, ladies and gentlemen. Today I have the pleasure of sitting down with the director from the LaGrange Memorial Library. I have on with me today Keith Schuermann. Keith, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Alton. I'm happy to be here.
Well, it's a pleasure to see you here on the show today. And I said the LaGrange Memorial Library, and I'm sure people have traveled Vernon Road and seen that there's a lot of work and things going on over there at that location. And we're going to get to talk about that in just a moment. But Keith, before we get into talking about the library a little bit, tell us just a little bit about yourself, if you don't mind.
Sure. So I've been directing this library system for 10 years now. And in the course of that 10 years, my focus has really been on capital projects.
Okay.
In 2016, we opened the new Hogansville Library in December of 2016. That was a $3.1 million project. And then in 2018, we opened the Harris County building, which was a $5.2 million project. And a lot of that effort and success is being carried over to the LaGrange project right now. But in terms of myself personally, I'm married to another library director.
Okay.
We try not to talk about libraries too much. We do read to each other. I read out loud to her. She is gracious and pretends to enjoy.
Pretends, you said.
Yes, yes. I've got 3 kids.
Okay.
Big Georgia fan. Go Dogs. Now is the time for us to strike nationally and, of course, in the SEC. But I just really feel blessed to be serving this community in LaGrange and just really want to continue the success that we've done by reimagining the LaGrange Memorial Library in the manner that we intend to.
Absolutely. And you know, Keith, I think you were talking about a librarian. I can remember back in the days of, you know, the card system, the Dewey Decimal System and things like that. And the kids nowadays probably don't know anything about that, so we're not going to even go there. You may vaguely know about it yourself, no doubt. But I can remember those days going into the library and having to look things up.
Yes, every now and then we will find a book with a card in a pocket in the back of it, and people will look with wonder and amazement. What is this piece of paper doing there?
That's right.
But libraries, like all other industries, have tried to adapt as much technology and as much automation as possible so we can really focus on what's important, which is serving the public and supporting lifelong learning.
Absolutely. And we're talking now, let's jump right on in because you know, our time will get away from me. And you talked about you launched the Hogansville Library, then you did the Harris County Library, and now you're focusing on the LaGrange Memorial Library. Talk about some of the challenges and things that have come about as a result of it, because this was a little bit larger library than the other two. So talk about that for us, if you don't mind.
Yes, if you take the budgets of the other 2 projects that we've done, it pretty much equates what we're looking at for the LaGrange Library. And we have had challenges like anybody else who is attempting to build at this time, very specifically inflation, which has been a challenge not just for building, but for all economies. Shortage of supplies. As a point of example, we had a wonderful design package, bar joist ceilings. We were informed we could not get bar joists for another 8 months. So that type of shortage of supply has required us to be very nimble in our approach and very flexible in terms of our final product. With inflation, this is anticipated to be a $7.9 million project once completed in sum total. If we were not the good stewards that we are and did not do things like value engineering when you go in and say, well, what is necessary? Can we do an alternative on this element or that element? It would have been well over $10 million. So we're trying to hold fast to our original budget scope, which was $6.8 million. If you do the math, we're just a little over $1 million over what we had anticipated before COVID. Before the pandemic and resultant inflation. So we're trying to be those good stewards, but also trying to fundraise at the same time and seeking alternative sources for funding to help us complete this project in total.
Good. Okay. And you're talking about, and I know when the project is done, I've seen some of the renderings of it. It's going to be really, really nice. It'll be definitely a staple in our community. Talk about how individuals that may be listening, Keith, because you talked about a $7.9 million budget, and I know there's just a little bit of shortfall. Talk about how people that may be listening can get involved and help make that up.
Sure. We have a donation page on our website. Mm-hmm. It's www.thrl.org. We've done direct mailings. We did one for the last holiday season, and it's amazing to me how much the LaGrange community and Troup County at large is a place of giving. This is something that I noticed when I first came here 10 years ago. People were coming out of the woodwork, not just to say hello, mm-hmm. out of curiosity to see who the new library director was, but to give their time, sometimes, yes, their money, mm-hmm. their effort mm-hmm. to help us in our mission. So you can, as an individual, go to our webpage, again, which is thrl.org, and follow the donate button there. But right now, we're at an impasse in this project budget, where we are in need of raising just a touch over $600,000.
Okay.
And that's really for our furniture, fixtures, equipment. We have enough money on hand to complete the substantial construction of this project, but really it's all those accoutrements, from mm-hmm. shelving mm-hmm. to computers, that fill in and make a library what it should be. So to get to that number, it's going to take a little more than individual mm-hmm. citizenry. We're looking at corporate naming rights, and mm-hmm. yes, and have scheduled some walk-arounds with some potential partners on the corporate end. Any sort of civic organization that would want to help us. As an example, the Rotary Club of LaGrange has been very supportive of us and was supportive of the library since its inception a little over 100 years ago. So we will exhaust any means of trying to get this project budget development fully satisfied.
Oh, very good. You know, and you said something at the beginning, the community is a very giving community,
yes.
and I know that everybody can attest to that, because when there's a need in the community, people do rally behind that. And naming rights, you saying that you guys are going to be looking at that in the upcoming months, I guess, ahead. And entering the holiday months, it may be into next year, I guess, sometime,
right.
perhaps.
Yes, it's been an ongoing process over the last couple of years,
right.
trying to get that budget done.
I'm about to say, any anticipation of completion date?
So our current schedule for construction gives us a substantially completed building in February of next year.
Okay. So
following that February date, we will need some time, again, to establish furniture, fixtures, and equipment, mm-hmm. all those accoutrements that mm-hmm. you love in the library. Shelving, we got to have some place to put all of our books. We have over 100,000 circulating materials and items there. And considering all that, now you're looking at sometime mid-year of next year, right. which is our busiest time of year during the summer reading program time, where, you know, routinely we'll get well over 100, if not 200 attendees for some of our programs. Okay. So this will, again, create a situation where we need to be nimble and
right.
flexible
gotcha.
And work around the needs of the community as well as our own needs.
Well, we know, Keith, with all of the great things that you guys are doing in the library, being the successful location that it has been over the years and will continue to be as a staple in our community, those fundings will come in for those FF&Es, and you guys will meet that deadline, and we're just glad to have you here as our director of the LaGrange Memorial Library. So I want to thank you for being my guest today, and I think I have another one of your staff person going to be coming on and sharing some additional information about the location here in just a moment, okay?
Yes,
so
sir.
Thank you very much, Keith, for being my guest today.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned in just a moment for more news on City Week.
Sweetland on Ice is returning for the 2022-2023 season. Beginning Friday, November the 18th and lasting through February the 14th, the Great Lawn at Sweetland Amphitheater will host a covered 5,500 square foot open-air ice skating rink. Bring your family and friends to the Winter Wonderland and enjoy holiday decorations, a spectator section with heaters to enjoy the ice skating action, and delicious affordable concessions. Don't forget about our beer and cocktails, Sweetland merch, and on select Fridays, we'll be hosting free movie nights for the holiday season. You won't want to miss the winter fun. Go to sweetlandamp.com for ticket information.
Welcome back to the week, ladies and gentlemen. Now I have the pleasure of sitting down with the Youth Service Coordinator from the LaGrange Memorial Library. I have with me as my guest, Crystal Blacquiere. Crystal, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me today.
Well, you know, we just had Keith on just a moment ago, and he was talking about all the things that's going on with the financing and the building coming to a completion. And I know that you are there in a youth services capacity, and definitely want to focus on our youth and getting to utilize the library. And we'll talk about that in just a moment. But before we get started, Crystal, I got to ask, Blacquiere, that's not a name that's coming to LaGrange. So tell me a little bit about yourself, if you don't mind.
Right. So actually, I'm from Heard County, which is not far from here, and I did come to LaGrange a lot in my younger years. But my husband's family is from Canada, so the name is actually French Canadian.
Okay.
They came down working on the railroads years ago.
Wow.
And so, yeah.
Okay. And I'm glad I didn't mess it up either.
Yeah, you did a good job.
I did a good. Thank you very much. Now, Crystal, and then they came down working on the railroad, and you were there in Heard County. Let me ask you, what helped you to land here in LaGrange, and what have you liked about LaGrange since being here a whole month?
Right. Well, I'm originally from the West Georgia Regional Library System.
Okay.
And I saw the opportunity to come and serve the community here, and it's a very vibrant community. It's a larger community, and there's lots of good opportunities to serve the youth here. So that's what drew me here.
All right. Well, very good. And we're happy to have you here. Now, currently, you all are located at the Unity Elementary School.
Yes.
Up on Park Avenue. Talk about that location a little bit, if you don't mind.
Actually, I mean, it's pretty good. I think we have a nice setup, even though it's smaller. We still have a nice room to do the children's programs and some community events. So we are excited about getting in the new location. It's going to be really good.
Very good. What are some of, and I know you've been there a month, so you're still kind of getting your feet wet a little bit, right? You guys do have some programs that are going to be coming up when you move into the new location.
We do. We are hoping to have our summer reading program there. We don't know if we'll be in the new location at that time yet. Okay. But we're definitely looking forward to a big kickoff once we get there. And we do have some programs coming up at our temporary location as well. Okay. So
now, when you talk about the summer reading program, talk a little bit about that for us, if you don't mind. What does that entail? Sure.
So we have lots of performers that come out. We have some magicians, some storytellers. And the kids can come and do reading logs and get prizes. And it's just a really fun educational time for everyone.
Wow. Is there a cost for?
No, all the programs at the library are always free.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow, free program.
Right.
And when will they be offered? Is there a certain day of the week or on the weekend?
During summer reading, it's usually throughout the months of June and July.
Okay.
And we post all of our information on social media, or you can come in the library to get information about it. Okay. Some of the programs we have now currently coming up, this month is Dino-Vember. So the dinosaurs are taking over the library. Yeah, we have a dinosaur party coming up tomorrow at the Hogansville Public Library and Monday at the LaGrange Public Library. So the kids will be able to come in. We're going to learn a little bit about chemistry. We'll do some how base and acids mix, and we'll hatch some dinosaur eggs, which will be really fun.
Yeah, it will be.
And do some sensory bins and some crafts. So we're looking forward to that.
Wow, Dino-Vember.
Dino-Vember.
Okay.
And we've just launched some home learners programs.
Okay.
So there are lots of homeschool families in this area, and that's near and dear to my heart because I'm also a homeschool mom.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, and we are going to provide some programs for them. This Friday, we're actually doing a nature creations program where we'll collect some materials from outside like acorns, pine cones, and they can use that to make something clay related. So it's like a good chance to use their creativity and imagination.
Yeah.
Yeah, and something I love about the homeschool families is you'll see like the toddlers and the younger kids working with the teens, and it's just beautiful seeing them learn together as a family. So I really enjoy that.
Well, very good at interactive learning then.
Yeah, it's very interactive.
Absolutely. And these are programs that are taking place, and there will be other programs that will be offered too that the kids can get involved in. And you just mentioned about toddlers and the preteens and things like that. Is there an age group that these programs are geared geared toward?
We do. So the homeschool programs are geared for all ages because they do like to do that together as a family.
Okay.
Some of the other programs we have coming up, like the dinosaur party, it would be for anyone who's interested in coming, but more geared toward younger elementary or preschool kids.
Okay.
We do have teen programs that meet at the Hogansville Library each Tuesday, and we have a really cool one coming up called Bad Art, and we thought that was neat. I don't know if there's any such thing as bad art, but they get to come in, they have all kinds of supplies. Leave your talent at the door. Let's create something really fun, and then we had some really cool prizes for them. So we do have teen programs as well.
Okay, very good. Bad art. Now, do you all display that around the community or around the library?
We'll definitely take some pictures, and they're going to vote on the best one. And I made these really tacky bad trophies for them. I think that will be fun, and then we have some cool prizes for them too.
Absolutely. You know, my oldest son is an artist, and I think that anyone that can take a canvas and then create a picture or whatever, that's a talent that I'm like, I tell people, I took art in the 7th grade. I can't even draw a stick man that looks decent,
Yeah.
So to see bad art, to be as beautiful as it is, I'm sure that's just inspiring.
Yeah, art is always fun. And one of my missions as the youth services coordinator is to just bring fun to learning. Like, I want to promote learning for all of our youth in our community. There's a little misconception about the library being maybe boring, or you have to be quiet, or come in and get a book that you need because you have to read it for school. But really, the library is a vibrant place, and I want the community to know that. We have a variety of learning experiences there.
Very good.
And just lots of fun things. That's what I want to bring.
Very good. And I'm glad you stated that, because a lot of times, especially back in my day, way before your time, you would go to the library, and you had to go in there, you had to be real quiet, and you got in your little area, you sat down, and you didn't make sure you didn't disturb anybody. But now in the libraries, you have the various sections of the library.
Yes, in the new library, we're going to have a really cool teen section. I'm excited about that. And an awesome children's area that'll have a spot for doing story times, and we do get loud sometimes. We do. Yeah, and it's really fun. There's so many resources, and I really want the community to know about those resources for our families and our kids.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to talk to Keith about those value engineering walls for that little bit louder areas.
Yeah.
And it is so great that our kids come to the library, because there's a lot of great things there. Not only the resources there, but the staff person in a lot of cases are very, very helpful in helping you to find things. And of course we know that they have access. A lot of kids have access to the internet where they can go in and find things. But sometimes it gives them an opportunity to go out and then just kind of relax a little bit, calm their mind down, because there's a lot of, like I am, your mind is always going, thinking about something, what I got to do next, what I got to do next.
We definitely want to be a resource for the parents as well, especially in early literacy. The story times are so important. Getting those kids reading before they actually go into formal education is extremely important. And also for our teens, we want them to feel comfortable. They have a safe place to explore topics that they're interested in or want to learn more about. We want them to feel comfortable, so that's very important too.
Very good. Well, Crystal, I want to thank you for coming on the show today and being my guest along with Keith today and talking about the LaGrange Memorial Library and its current temporary location, Unity Elementary School up on Park Avenue. And only 1 month on the job, and you said you hit the ground running. You're ready to go.
I'm ready. I'm excited.
I can tell. And the energy is going to just pour out over to the young people, and I know that you all are going to have a wonderful time there. And we're very happy to have you here in our community, and hopefully you continue to stay and just continue to help it to grow and be a better place. Okay?
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Chris, for being my guest today, all right?
All right.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for some more Seed of the Week coming up in just a moment. Welcome back to Seed of the Week, ladies and gentlemen. Now, of course, we're being joined by Lynne Holle from Visit LaGrange to give us an update on all of the outstanding programs that will be taking place in our community. So, Lynne, let's hear all about it.
All right, thank you. Good morning, ALton. Well, first of all, we will be talking about the events that are going to be going on in LaGrange and Troup County during the week of Thanksgiving, which is November 21st through the 27th. So let's get started. Our first event is not until Friday, but we want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving on Thursday, of course. Beginning Friday, November 25th, join Troup County Historical Society staff member and Southern Spirit Guide Lewis Powell for a ghostly tour of downtown LaGrange to hear about the spirited history of Troup County and those who call it home. Tours will depart from the Legacy Museum on Main at 7 p.m., rain or shine, and move through the downtown area. Be sure to wear comfortable shoes, bring a water bottle, and an umbrella if the weather calls for rain. On Sunday, November 27th, from 5 p.m. until 7 p.m., everyone is invited to celebrate Christmas at Callaway Baptist. At this event, they will host their annual lighting of the Nativity, which takes place on the front lawn of the church. To correspond with the lighting, they will have fire pits with roasted marshmallows and hot dogs, storytelling, and live musical entertainment. This is a great family-friendly event for the entire family to kick off the Christmas season, celebrating the birth of Jesus. And let's don't forget Sweetland on Ice with special hours of operation during the Thanksgiving break. Those hours are Monday through Sunday from 12 p.m. to 9 p.m. They will be closed on Thanksgiving Day. Come out and enjoy the fun on ice. Concessions will be available, including fresh popcorn, hot dogs, chips, coffee, hot chocolate, beer, wine, spirits, and specialty drinks. For more information on tickets to ice skate or to book a party, go to sweetlandamp.com or email mk@sweetlandamp.com. See you at Sweetland. So it's kind of a slim week because it's a holiday week, but those are the activities that will be going on during the week.
Well, Lynn, that's quite a lineup, and I'm sure, as always, people will come out and take full advantage of them as we get into the holiday mode and just enjoy Thanksgiving and the upcoming Christmas holiday as well. Thank you for always coming on and sharing with us what's going on.
Anytime.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I want to say happy Thanksgiving to everybody before I close up. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you've enjoyed my interviews this week. My guests have been from the LaGrange Memorial Library. I had on the director, Keith Schuermann, as he talked about the LaGrange Memorial Library construction and also how you can get involved with helping raise some additional funding that will be needed for FF&Es. Also, we had on from LaGrange Memorial Library, we had on the Youth Services Coordinator, Crystal Blacquiere, as she talked about the upcoming programs that will be offered to youth during the summer, as well as some programs that are taking place now at their temporary location over on Unity Elementary School on Park Avenue. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you've enjoyed these interviews, and as always, I want to invite you back for more of City Week